Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, a veteran in this channel, welcome back for yet another exciting episode of Vlogmas. As you can see today, I am crushing on my birthday dress. Because I think that's one thing about this occasion dresses, right? Like you get to wear them for a wedding, you get to wear them for a birthday party, you get to wear them for something, and then it's really difficult to really wear them again. I don't know if it's just me, but it becomes really difficult to actually wear them again unless you actually go to another event where the color theme sort of matches the kind of dress that you have. And so I thought to myself, man, it's not like I'm gonna wear this to church, but if I want to be a diva one day, why not? Can rock this to church, but anyways, you really find occasions to repeat dresses. And I don't know if it's just me, but you really, really find it difficult to just repeat dresses because, occasions, but different themes altogether. But anyways, let's get into today's video where we're talking about budgeting for December. We know we're already Decembering, which is why we're on Vlogmas. And with Decembering comes the tricky adulting situations where your employer, before your normal payday, will just shock your bank account. They will shock you in ways that you've never imagined. Suddenly you are getting paid before your normal payday, and you still have money from the last month if you are one of those people. But if you're not one of those people, you're probably broke by now, which it happens. Or you find yourself in that situation where you're getting paid and you still have, money from last month, and you don't understand why would your employer tempt you like this. Why would Christmas come too early for your liking, And I think the trick that this whole thing does is that it makes you believe that you have money because money came earlier than expected, If you just started working this year, it's probably going to be a shock to your system. Like, why is the next payday so soon? Who ordered this payday mid-December and not really on the normal dates? That's what happens. But what your employer won't tell you is that everything is going back to normal in January. It's going back to normal. And you still have a long stretch to Jan, guys. You still have a long stretch to Jan. And you are supposed to use the same salary that is apparently coming early to survive the whole of December. And I know with a lot of people that means going back home, and as a young adult, going back home, we know it's part of like tradition, if I may put it that way. You can't go home empty-handed. And also when you go home, it's also money to go back home. And it's also money that you will need to spend when you get back home, because you're not going to just get to your parents' house and eat their food, You are an adult now. You're supposed to talk about groceries, what are we eating, Christmas lunch, those are some of your responsibilities as a young adult, presents for kids if there are kids in the house. But if you're last born like myself, you are blessed. You just have to think about those other kids, other people's kids, your sister's kid or your cousin's kids, but it's not as intense compared to when it's your own siblings where, there's Christmas clothes, you must buy them Christmas clothes and stuff. So the responsibilities are quite a lot, and it can be quite a stretch, honestly, on your salary. Jokes aside, we might laugh about it, but it can be quite a stretch on your end financially. And considering that in Jan, you still need to come back to Joburg, and you might come back around the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, and you need to survive to the 25th, survive to the 30th of Jan, survive to the 15th of Jan if you're lucky, or the 20th of Jan. But either way, you still need to come back and you still need to eat. You still need to go to the office if you guys are also going back to the office. I mean, you still have a life pretty much that has to happen here. And not to forget about rent, December rent, and Jan as well. Like, you still need to put those, in as well. So, which is why we need to have this conversation about Decembering well, because you're going to get your paycheck now, but the next paycheck is coming in like 2 months' time, if we are to be honest. It's like literally, it's 2 months away, and you still need to survive for those 2 months while you wait, right? So, which is why I thought, let's talk about, Decembering well. The video that I did last year was how to avoid January and Christmas tax and all of that. You can go check that out. I'll also put it in the description box so that you go check it out. But in the cracks of it, if we have to put it in one sentence, it will be budget for both Jan and December right now. That is the only way to get out of it. It's like budget for both Jan and December right now. And if you intend to spoil your family, if you intend to do something for your family, then make sure that you are doing that perhaps out of your savings or out of, a bonus if you're getting a bonus or something. But the essential things, your rent for now and Jan, budget for that. Fix that money if you have to. If you know you will be tempted, fix that money if you have to. You're gonna need groceries when you come back. I think for December, you don't really need to buy groceries for Joburg. You can just buy a few items that you need. Then the grocery money that you were supposed to be using this side, you can use that back at home. And also maybe add a few 100 rands and stuff. And also, when you're home, you don't really spend much on takeaways and stuff if you come from the Bundus, unless you're like a city person. But if you come from a Bundus, it's a great way to save on takeaways because there's no Uber Eats there, so you're fine. Even if you crave something, you're probably not gonna get it until you go to town, so that's okay. And there are just sacrifices that you can actually make in December and spoil your family. Like, that's entertainment. Okay, will be part of you being back at home. I don't know with COVID and the fourth wave if people will still be keen to like do that. But imagine if it's 4 friends, right? You all contribute like 500 rands. That's if you drink. If you don't drink, you might as well contribute 250 each person, and then you have like a young 1,000 rands, and then you guys can go out, and eat and drink. Like 1,000 rands can actually give you something, to do in December. So that's just like one way that you can December well. After budgeting, just make sure that even with entertainment, you have something planned for that. And of course, you cannot be the sponsorship because you are working. I think that's also another thing. The fact that you're going back home, it doesn't make you a millionaire suddenly. No, you're not a millionaire. You still have bills to pay. You still have stuff that you need to do when you come back. And I think it's good that before you even get the December check, you already know this is how much I'm going to pay for rent and stuff. This is how much I'm going to use for petrol, going back and coming back. And also some petrol when you're at home, because it's not like you're going to be at home the whole time. You might go out, you might go see family, you might do whatever. So essentially budgeting for all of that right now. And like a good way to sort of budget in case you don't have, a set budget and you don't know where to start. I love the 50, 30, 20 rule that you can sort of use to structure your budget. So 50% of essentially your earnings or your salary or whatever, use that to cover your living expenses. So your rent, your food, your transport, that's 50%. And then take that 30% and use that to pay whatever debts you have. So whether it's your credit card, whether it's like store account, a loan, whatever, 30% of your budget should go towards repaying your debt. And then you can do that 30%, 20% that's remaining, you can use that to save or invest. And I think if you suddenly have money and you're just not sure, you still want to enjoy yourself because it's December, you want to reward yourself that it's a good year, that is sort of like a really good way to structure your budget. Like 20% I'm gonna save or invest, so put that in easy equities, put that in a money market account, put it somewhere. And I feel like it's important that even if it's December, you save, because you don't know, January is around the corner, you might need that money for something else. So at least saving in the midst of enjoyment, it will come handy. We all know that Jan is hectic and it's long because we just don't have money. We've spent money over December, so you can do that as well, and also try to spoil your family. And also, giving this talk today kind of like makes me feel a bit iffy, because people come from different backgrounds. Like for some people, saving is literally a luxury, and if you can't save it at all because of circumstances at home and all of that, then it is what it is. But at least have something, even if it's not 20%, maybe have 10%, or maybe have like 5% or something for when you come back in Jan, knowing that I have a little bit of something that I can actually rely on. So with your salary, whatever, double them, whatever you still have remaining, whatever you will get, just do the 50-30-20 split and do that. And if you can actually afford to not to save more, then do that as well. Save more if you have money to close off your debts and whatnot. It's a good way. I mean, a lot of people get into debt right now in December because we are all feeling the festive spirit. We are feeling the spirit of giving. We want to give, but in as much as we want to give and all of that, it is very important to think about January as well, because it's around the corner. So whatever plans you will make in December, keep January in mind, because it's literally around the corner, and it's the same money that you're supposed to use in Jan. So that maths, it has to mathify, because if it doesn't mathify, January is gonna be a long month. And also for people with like stokvels and all of that, I know it's quite common to actually say it's paying out in December. If you're doing the original stokvel where not really original, but if you have that stokvel where you guys all of you save and then you sort of divide the money, I'd say don't divide it in December, divide that in Jan. That's when you really need it, because if you got paid right now and you have all those responsibilities at home and stuff, then you might overuse the salary that you're supposed to use in Jan right now. So it's better if you keep that stokvel, and when we are all broke, then you guys in Jan get your money, your savings in Jan, and then you guys are flying. You are the rich people in the room. And also it gives you time, because I feel like there's also pressure to just want to spend because it's December, and sometimes it's not even necessary. So go back to my video, the one which says, can you afford it? Go back to that video. Do you really need to buy it? Ask yourself that question. Can I afford this? Do I really need to buy this? Because sometimes you just like, it's December, I want to change my phone. And why the hell would you want to change your phone? That thing is working fine. Why are you changing it? The festive spirit is in all of us. There's a spender in all of us that wants to come out. And I think it will take that person who will say, in as much as I want to splurge this money, it's not worth it. Let me actually not spend, because I don't actually need this. And if you can talk yourself out of it, then it's fine. You are good for December. You will December well. I think the trick is fighting the splendor. That is the spender, not the splendor. The splendor of the king. But the important thing is, think about having a budget. If you're not a budget person, you can start now. 50/30/20 rule. Use that to do your budget. A simple budget for December. You know all the things you want to buy, all the things you want to spend on and stuff. So focus on that. Focus on, make it a goal to repay whatever that it is that you still owe. Repay that. Don't miss payments for December, because that's another thing. If you miss your payments for December, then you're essentially ruining your own credit score and stuff. So you don't want to start a new year on a bad note with your creditors. Repay what you owe, and at the same time, don't overspend. I'll say this again. Don't overspend. Yes, I'm talking to you. Don't overspend, because if you do, we will hear stories in January about cabbage, about pap, which we don't want to hear of. All of that is preventable if you start now. If you really budget now, then you will December well. You know that you have a young 5,000 rands waiting for my enjoyment. And when that 5,000 rands, when you've blown that 5,000 rands, then you're just like, I'ma sit at home. I'ma sit at my mother's house. I'ma chill at home because I'm broke. But even though you're broke, you know that when you come back, you still have money to survive for the rest of Jan and live your life. So yeah, it's festive season. If you really want to buy people presents, look for deals that are out there. You should have used Black Friday, by the way, to sort of take advantage of specials and stuff. But don't overstretch yourself. Do what is within your budget and communicate shame. I think more than anything, communicating like with your family when they want more and stuff, to say, I would love to do that, but I can't, because of 1, 2, 3, which is hard. It's hard to say no to the people that have made so many sacrifices for you to be where you are. But you can only stretch yourself so much. You can perhaps use your own entertainment budget. If you want to go the extra mile, use your own entertainment budget to, help out wherever you can. But remember that there's January coming, and that budget for Jan must just remain secured and safe throughout the whole, festive season. But anyways, that is all that I had for you guys today. Mainly the 50/30/20 rule, and just being smart about spending, the way you spend money, and repaying those you owe. Pay those installments, please. Pay those installments. Pay people that you owe, and December, knowing that you've paid your dues for December and you're set for Jan as well. So thank you so much, guys, for watching until the end. I love you guys so much. I will see you in the next video. Oh, bye. Mwah.